Hi, morning. It's a gray old day outside, but it's actually all right. It doesn't look that hot out, and yeah, for somewhere in Texas, that'll do. First question of the day comes from Sylvia. Good morning, Sylvia. Okay. The post about the declining antibodies was disheartening. Yeah, I know. Sorry. Yeah. Still, not being a scientist, I wonder if our hope lies in finding those rare people who seem to exist, for other diseases at least. Yeah, I get where this is going, who are naturally immune and seeing what's in their DNA that could help. I assume at this point it would be hard to find somebody like that. No, you could probably find them. Yeah. Unless you got really lucky. Is that even possible? I just don't see us eradicating it through due diligence of everyone on Earth. Yeah, I know. um, Yeah, I think thankfully it doesn't require the due diligence of everybody on Earth, but it does require a substantial portion of us to do our jobs, not spread the virus around. I don't know. Yeah, all right. On genetic resistance. So, what we know about other diseases is, yeah, sometimes there are people who are born who have a different version of ACE2, for example. And we already know about several of these, and they've modeled what the mutations might do to the protein. And it looks like some of these mutations would mess up the protein in such a way that spike might not bind as well. Now, at the same time, all of these mutations look as though they would probably make a non working version of ACE2, which is bad because ACE2 is operating at the end of this system. It's called the renin-angiotensin system. Um, and so in the middle of this system, you've got ACE1, which is going to cleave a little version of angiotensin, and it's going to end up causing um, uh, the blood pressure to rise. So it's going to constrict those veins so that there's basically just, yeah, squeezing the blood so that you get higher blood pressure. And so that's one side of the equation. The other side of the equation is to do the opposite, right? And so that's what angiotensin converting enzyme 2, or ACE2, is there for. And that's the one the virus binds. It binds the one that helps us lower our blood pressure. It's not the only way to lower blood pressure, and there are real surviving humans that seem to have what look like fairly messed up ACE2 proteins. But this probably comes at a consequence, and I haven't yet seen a good study on genetic mutations in ACE2 and exactly what they do to our health. Because if, the alternative is giving everybody extreme high blood pressure and, likeliness to succumb to some other disease, then it's not really helping, right? Yeah, it's just, trading one very bad problem for another. And yeah, I don't want to trade. I don't want to trade problems. The other way that people can be naturally immune is that they wouldn't be naturally immune, but there will be certain combinations of the proteins called HLA proteins that are going to grab onto bits of the virus and be a little bit better at show and tell, basically. They got to grab a little piece of the virus and then they got to show it to other cells in the immune system and tell them, hey, have you got something for this? Yeah. And so, yeah, there are some people that are just super at show and tell, but everybody's good at showing some kind of protein. It's just that some people have the version of this that's going to clamp a little bit better onto proteins from SARS coronavirus 2. And so that's where that would come. And so that would be resistance. They would still get infected, but their bodies would make a good, strong immune response right away and shut that virus down. Now, they may not be protected again later. That's probably what a lot of those sort of mild or asymptomatic cases actually are. They're just people that have the right genetic makeup for the job. But I haven't seen a good paper looking at that yet. There have been predictions, but I haven't seen real data that actually demonstrates that, yeah, these predictions are right, or no, we got to revise them in this particular way. That was me turning the revision knob there. I don't know why. So that's the idea. Um, Yes, we could look for those people. No, I'm not sure that would be a whole lot of help in the long term. And until and unless there's a vaccine, I mean, even if there is a vaccine, you're probably going to have to get vaccinated every single year, at least like ring vaccine around flare ups. But no, most of the work of getting rid of this stupid virus is going to have to be just old school epidemiology 101, test, trace, isolate kind of stuff. And as a world, we have to get better at this. So we're going through a natural selection of sorts right now where it's basically our ideas versus reality. This idea of whether or not we're in danger, and then the reality of the virus that's killing off people who are getting exposed. And so eventually, yeah, ugh, that's a kind of a weird natural selection, and I don't know what the long-term consequences of that will be, or even if it's actually going to knock out enough people that there would be long-term consequences. But yeah, it's probably going to do something, and we'll find out what. But the other problem with those genetic things is that even if you figured out the ways that people are naturally immune, you would have to then take that gene and start genetically modifying babies with that gene in order to get the desired effect. And I mean, people can't get together on, like, should we fight the coronavirus or just whatever, let it do whatever. And I think the idea of genetic modified babies is probably a little beyond what people are going to be just sort of ready for at the moment. Although, yeah, if it comes to it and this is the only way out, I think you may see that change. So, yeah. All right. Thanks very much. Very interesting question. I like where this one's going. Yeah, this has been Ask Dr. Pep.